Hello everyone, it's Lindsay and I'm a little late getting my Sunday planner process video up, but I wanted to wait until something came out. The it's free this week, mini devotional over at illustratingfaith.com. I'll link it down below. So I was kind of waiting until this came out to get the video up so I could show you this while it was still free. So this is what I'm going to use for today's process. But before we jump in, I've had a lot of questions about my faith planner and what I used it for and what's going on. And so I kind of briefly cover it in each video, but I wanted to kind of take some time out to show you a few different things. I showed some things on my Instagram stories recently. So if you didn't catch that, here is the information. So here is a look at last week's completed. So I'll link the video in the top right hand corner showing the process for how this came together. But I use this portion of my planner for my daily scripture writing. And this is just solely to just get into the word, writing down verses, and a way to start committing verses to memory. And it's just part of my daily devotion time. I just happened to insert a devotional into this week. I didn't take any notes, but I could take notes on the back of here. This is separate from the daily scripture writing. So a few different ways that I do the daily scripture writing are a couple different plans. So this one here is from Sweet Blessings. I will link it down below. And they come out with a monthly plan. It used to be by month, now it's by topic, so you don't necessarily have to do this in January. Granted, we're already a week into January, but you could do this anytime. So this set of scriptures is all focused on wisdom, and so it's a series of scriptures every single day, and it's for, you could just read it, but it's for scripture writing. So I used to have a notebook like this, and I would just write out the scriptures in here, but this just got a little bit dull and repetitive for me, so I like doing it in my planner, and it's just kind of a way to get into the word each day. So this one from Sweet Blessings is on wisdom. This month they have a few different ones on there that you can pick from, so you can check out her site, check out what she's got going on, just a lot of different things. I've found that these plans are a little bit longer for writing out. So you can see this is 7 verses. So 7 verses probably isn't going to fit in a planner like this. So I've kind of strayed away from this one, but this is a great one if you are having a little bit more room, like in a notebook or something like that. Another one that I like is the Bible Girl podcast, and hers you can pick some different sizes. So like I printed mine in a traveler's notebook size and then just adhered it into the front of my notebook. This is the notebook I'm using to take notes as I work through the daily reading plan. So I'll usually just sit down, read my scriptures for the day, and then I have my scriptures to write, which is a separate plan, and I'll write those out in here. And hers are a little bit shorter, and so they fit a little bit better in a planner. And hers usually are around a topic or a theme. These are verses for the new year, so this is kind of jumping around all over the place. But I have really enjoyed hers, and they are shorter, so they fit a little better in here. Another option is the daily scriptures from the YouVersion Bible app. That is something that I did for several months. And so within the app, the YouVersion Bible app, if you come over here, you've got a verse of the day. You could come down to more verse of the day. So this will list all the verses of the day, as far back as you would like. And then a neat thing about the verse of the day on the YouVersion Bible app is you can actually turn it into, I'm not logged in, but you can turn it into a little picture. So let's go back here. Home. Okay, so the verse of the day today is 2 Corinthians 5:14 through 15, and they actually have it set up into little images, so you could share these onto your social media platforms if you wanted to, in addition to writing out the verse for the day. So it just kind of depends on what you want. If you want one that's topical, if you just want, different verses, and then that is what I write down in here. So I hope that's kind of helpful for you guys, answer some of the questions I've had. The pretty artwork is just fun and something I like to do. And the last few weeks I've been adding in a devotional card as well, just to add it into here so it's all in one place, but that's not necessary. So let's dive in. We're gonna work on this spread here, and I have some fun things I wanna show you, so let's jump right in. All right, so I went ahead and cut apart the devotional and the pieces that come with it, and I did print it on 65-pound white cardstock. And you can see I actually took part of the devotional side, and the title part, I made it cut down like that, so it'll be a tab. You'll see that here in a few minutes. I did go ahead and pull out some papers from the You Are Loved collection from Illustrated Faith and Bella Boulevard. This is an older collection from 2016, but I did find some pieces still available over at scrapbook.com, so I will link those down below so you can check that out. I thought the colors really went well with the colors of the January planner spreads. So I went ahead and cut a piece of the 6x8 paper down, and I'm going to mount this devotional content onto that, and we're going to create a tip-in. That's something I've done the last few weeks with devotionals, so nothing new there. And then I have some of the pieces from the devotional that I'm going to add in. This devotional this week is free for this first week, and then after the first week, it's only $3 over in the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray shop. Definitely go check it out. This one is a new series by Tanya Hamilton. She is a dear friend of mine, and I just love how she is so vulnerable and shares her heart in her devotional content. And so definitely go check her out. She started this new series titled Be Bold and Pray. It's going to be on prayer, and this particular week we are looking at Hannah in 1 Samuel chapter 1, and just her crying out to God and how we can do the same in our prayers to Him. And so go check that out. It's a really sweet, short devotional, and I've really been enjoying adding these weekly devotionals into my planner because they are super short. I can just look at them, work through them really quick, take some notes on the back of these cards. I can take it into my Bible if I want to, but I don't feel like I have to have a whole separate way of storing these devotionals now, so I like having them right here in my planner. We're going to insert that tip in just a few minutes, but I'm going to take some of the scraps of the paper that I used and add it to the bottom of this page just to kind of pull that pattern. The colors aren't exactly like the colors that are in the planner, so I wanted to kind of pull those over a little bit. And I really loved the pattern at the top of this spread here, and I mentioned last week that I wanted to not cover it up, so we're going to work with that pattern this week. And so I'm just using that paper kind of like washi, and then I can go ahead and trim this down. Now this is a mini devotional kit, so it comes with a few items that you can cut out and use, but the nice thing is it isn't a whole lot, so it's great for these planner spreads. I'm going to add in some stamps. Now this stamp set here on the left hand side is from an old devotional kit from Illustrated Faith. It is no longer available. It was written and designed by Valerie Wieners, who also designed this stamp set here. Now this stamp set is available from Valerie over in her personal website. I will link that down below. She has some beautiful artwork and some great little stamp sets. You can see this one is filthy. It is well loved. I've had it for a couple years now, and so the florals match in the two stamp sets. So I went ahead and pulled those out, and I'm going to use those. And I'm inking these up with these are Color Box chalk inks. I just ordered a few more, and this is a very, very pale blue color, and so you are not going to be able to see this probably on camera, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this in this pale color so I kind of have outlines to color in with my paint. And so I'm just wanting them to be dark enough that I can see where my stamping is. So I'm going to ink up these two different stamps. Like I said, this one here is from the older set that's no longer available, but you could get away with just using the stamp set that Valerie currently has over in her shop. And this chalk ink is very unique. I did a Tip Tuesday talking about these. When you heat set them, they are completely permanent. So I can go over them with wet mediums and they're not going to move. And I am going to be painting these in. So I wanted something that was permanent. And I'm just kind of spreading these out around the page. just to kind of tie in. They really match the style of the florals that are at the top of the planner spread, and so I really wanted to kind of pull that down into the rest of the page. I'm pulling out my Illustrated Faith acrylic paints, and I chose these ones because I knew the colors were going to match perfectly with the colors from the paper and the planner. Since they're all Illustrated Faith, a lot of their colors kind of are consistent throughout their different products, so this way I didn't have to mix too many different colors. And I am going to pull some colors that are from those papers and from the design at the top, just to kind of tie everything together. And to throw in some white. I'm all out of the Illustrated Faith white. And then I'm just going to start really messily painting in these images, and I am going over these stamped lines because I'm going to go back in and re-stamp these. So this is just kind of like a coloring book. I used it as a guideline so I could go in and paint, and I am not being fussy. I'm just adding some color on there and kind of globbing it on and getting a mixture of colors so that there's some interest. So I'm not just mixing it into a consistent one color and then just going in there and painting it in. I have had a video probably about a year ago now showing a similar technique, and it's been a while since we've done this, so I thought I'd bring it back and show it to you again, especially following up last week's planner video with those florals. Not everybody's comfortable with freehand painting, and so this is a way to do it with your stamps. So now I'm going to go in with the pinks, and I kind of lay a base color down, and then I go in with my paintbrush really messy, picking up both the pink and the white just to add some different tones and colors to the florals. And this is just going to be a base layer underneath the stamping. So I'll go through and just fill all of these in. These planner pages are pretty thick, so they stand up pretty well to this amount of acrylic paint. I probably should have took these pages out to work on them. The moisture did kind of seep through into under pages, but it didn't mess them up. It just kind of added some texture to them, but it was fine. You can see here I'm just continuing to add layers of the pinks and the white. I did go ahead and add some yellow to the centers and then dry these. It does take a little bit longer to dry because it's a pretty thick amount of paint, but we got it dry. And now I'm going to go in and stamp over them with black ink. I'm using Ranger Archival ink today. You do want to use something like an archival ink or STAYS-ON ink if you're stamping over acrylic paint, or it won't dry. If you use a pigment ink, it will not dry over acrylic paint. So this archival ink is pretty new to me. It did start to bleed through these planner pages, so just heads up there. It is a brand new ink pad, so it's extra juicy, so that's part of the problem, but it's fine. I can cover it on the other side. And you can see now I'm just going to go over and stamp over the top of these images, and so they look like they're painted in and hand drawn, but it's just paint and stamps. Super simple. I love her style of roses and florals, and so it's just kind of fun to bring out this older set and get some more life out of it. Even though it's not still available, I can still want to use the products that I have in my stash. I'm just going to go through and finish up all that stamping. It would have been a little bit easier again if I'd pulled it out of my planner, because then I wouldn't be fighting with that center coil, but that's okay. I made it work. There's also these little crosses in that stamp set, and so I'm going to go ahead and stamp those down to add some texture. She has a really neat texture stamp set available right now over on her site also. Definitely go check that out. She just has some beautiful artwork, and I love how this page came out looking like something she would have done. So definitely go check out her art. She's got some really cute things over there. And so you can see I left myself plenty of room to do all of my daily scripture writing. And now we're going to go ahead and add in this tip-in. So I have this crisscross washi from Illustrated Faith, and we're going to create a little hinge over here so that I can lift this up, take notes on the back, and also write my scriptures into the places underneath. I'm just going to add the washi half onto the planner, half onto that tip-in, and I'm also going to add some onto the back. One little tip is don't add it to the full length of the card. It seems to work a little bit better if you just keep it to a small section of the card. Now I'm going back in with some of the pieces from the Devotional printable, and I'm trying out some new adhesive. This is Tombow mono adhesive. It's a dot adhesive runner. I'm going to see if I have some better luck with this. So I'll let you know what I think as I work with it. But I'm just adding those little pieces throughout the page. It's going to help tie in that devotional card. Even though it'll be other verses written throughout here, I wanted to kind of tie in all of those elements across the pages just so it's nice and balanced looking, and to use up the printables, because I probably won't use these in my Bible for this particular devotional, and so I want to use up as many of the pieces as I can. So I'll go through and just stick those all down, and that is it for this week's planner spread. Sorry it's a little late, but I wanted to get it up while this devotional was still free, so go check that out. Leave me any questions or comments down in the comments down below. Check out that description box for links to all of the products used today, and give this video a thumbs up if it was inspirational, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.